we've gone over what we've done in Massachusetts now for the better part of a year. And this process takes some time. Well, as you know, our team, if you listen every day, our team was in court last week as the other side, the state of Massachusetts, and the pro-abortion side of it was trying to get our case just thrown out. And not only did that not happen, there was actually some really great moments that lead us to at least believe that things are not done yet.
That's right. Actually, fascinating because these things happen in real time. Some of these updates today almost feel like a courtroom drama that you would see on TV. But that we, at the beginning of last week, received information from the state of Massachusetts. We did the equivalent of a FOIA request under the state sunshine laws. And we received a production at the beginning of last week that had things that were that would further establish the deceitful nature of the state's campaign against pregnancy resource centers. That wasn't in our original complaint because we were fighting to get it. Then in that hearing on Thursday of last week, our attorney, who presented Olivia, went back and forth with the judge almost for an hour and a half during that hearing. And when she presented that, we have more evidence that has been uncovered, that really got the judge's attention. And even when the other side, the defendants, the abortion industry and the state, were pushing back saying this shouldn't even be here to begin with, the judge commended how well our attorney presented this case. And so this is a upfront early victory in this case. This was the defendants, the state, and the abortion industry trying to get it thrown out of court with this motion to dismiss. The judge was intrigued by the new evidence that we have that obviously wasn't presented there fully in that sense. It was just, here's what we've gotten. And so what he said is, amend your complaint, file leave to amend your complaint. I will grant it. And this entire motion to dismiss is moot right now, means it's done. Now, the other side will have an opportunity now that this new complaint is filed. It essentially starts at the beginning. They will try to have it thrown out again.
Yes, I mean,
but it's very good that we have overcome that first motion to dismiss. Absolutely. And the judge is at least interested in seeing what's in there. And that's a very good sign for our attorneys and our client.
Yeah, I think it's important to know that our attorneys are out there thinking 10-dimensionally, if you will, of how they could possibly win these cases when you're going up against Massachusetts pro-choice activists a lot of times. What does that look like? Well, you hopefully find a favorable judge, which looks like we may have at least found a fair judge. And we're able to continue these cases forward. I think it's a big deal. It's a big win. Congratulations to our team. Not a win just yet, but at least a win in the sense that it's certainly not over. Of course, if we had lost completely, it's not over either. We can appeal. There's a lot of options we're going to do. We can take this thing all the way to the Supreme Court of the United States. And with your support, we will. That is why we always ask for support and donations. None of this is being funded by major sponsors or big grants that come in. That's not how it works here. I'd say 99.9% of the funding that comes to the ACLJ is coming from individuals, from people like you who say, you know what, I want to give $10 a month. I want to give $75 a month. I want to give $100 a month. Or maybe I'll make a one-time donation at the end of the year by Christmas, whatever I have. That is how this organization is funded, and I'm proud of that. And I love that because we were able to do that in a real grassroots way. Not in a way where we're just taking money from some big organization and saying, we'll do whatever you want. No, we are being run by all of you who decide to support the ACLJ, and by doing that at aclj.org.
Now, Logan, we've got another big victory, big update. And if you saw the show Friday, I really went into detail about this case that we have in Illinois.
I saw some of it.
And I broke down.
I actually heard some of it. I was in Los Angeles, California.
That's right.
I landed. I turned on the radio in my rental car, and Will is talking to me.
Well, you should have called in. I said, I want phone calls, and you could have called in. And
it's the second half they tape it.
It's delayed. That's right. Yeah, never mind.
Slot.
But I kind of broke down how that case in Illinois has broader implications and why we have to fight those local cases that may not really make sense to you because you don't live there, or it may not feel like it really ties into you. But I kind of broke down why it matters. And I'll give you an example here. Because right there, we're fighting an ordinance that we see unconstitutional in Illinois. We had a client in Ohio that was in a criminal proceeding going to trial on Friday. I mentioned that as we were on air, it was going to be happening. That he was being charged with a disorderly conduct under an ordinance because of using some amplification. So our attorneys get to court and they notice something is a little bit up because our attorneys are smart. They're, like Logan said, playing that 10-dimensional chess, trying to see where they can defend our client the best. And they noticed that an 11th hour maneuver by the prosecutor that changed the theory of their case amounted to rewriting the charges on the spot. And our attorneys objected. They said, we didn't have time to prepare for this because it was something else. They also said that if you were to go back and try to rewrite these, this pushes outside the speedy trial statutes in Ohio. He will be outside that timeline. You have to drop these charges. We pushed back hard and we got a victory. They dropped the charges, the prosecution folded, and our client was free to go without charge. But here's now the kicker.
Yeah. I do want to say this, though. That's a big win. Understand, our team is thinking in ways that are very creative, and they were able to get a win for our client. That is a huge win. Take that, celebrate it, congratulate it. But understand that that doesn't change it for the future. And that is where the ACLJ is going to take action. This was almost a technicality, a clerical mistake that caused a big win. And, of course, that is a good thing because you take a win however you can take a win, especially when in terms of a criminal-type case.
Right.
But now we got to fight against this statute.
That's right. So just like we're fighting in Illinois over a statute that we see is used to discriminate against pro-life advocates, we are doing the same thing with the statute in Ohio, saying that it unfairly discriminates against the viewpoint of pro-life activists and that they were using it in a discriminatory way by not treating people equally under this ordinance. And so we're filing now in Ohio against an ordinance that's being weaponized against conservative speech. So when I told you on Friday that it takes a team like the ACLJ to go there and find these ordinances and fight back to get these overturned so it protects everyone's speech, that's what we do. I said on Friday that they say all politics is local. All constitutional crises begin local, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're doing. We're protecting your speech there.
And you just ramp it up. It keeps going and going and going if necessary. It goes all the way to the United States Supreme Court. We got an incredible team that does that. We are so excited to announce the ACLJ's brand new app, completely redesigned to provide you with the best tools available to partner with us at the ACLJ. You can watch the daily Seculo program, sign the petitions, customize your ACLJ membership experience, donate with the click of a button, and receive up-to-the-minute critical updates that the mainstream media can't censor. Just scan the QR code on your screen or go to your phone's app store, search ACLJ, and click install. It's that simple.